congratulations on this one.
Thank you.
Pure thriller this time. And I was wondering if you could briefly tell us what the story is about, because I'm afraid I'll make spoilers.
Well, I guess the simplest way to describe Trap is a father takes a daughter to a pop concert for her favorite singer. It's in an arena, and the father starts to realize that there's something weird going on because there's police everywhere and then there's military vehicles surrounding the venue. And then he finds out that they've set a trap for a very well-known serial killer called the Butcher. And then you find out in the movie very early on that the father is the serial killer.
So again, here we have some characters that are confined or trapped in a way, and they are also faced with some big dilemmas. We've seen that again in old, we've seen at Knock at the Cabin, yes. Just to name the recent ones. So what is this that you're so interested in this kind of situation?
You know when you think about like Twilight Zone episodes, they're so powerful because they're so contained and they're talking about big ideas, but you're staying in a very limited palette of visual information and storytelling, but the idea somehow becomes bigger because you're doing it in a small way. You know, my whole thing is trying to use minimalism to make the ideas that we're talking about bigger. My mind doesn't go to kind of the sky filled with spaceships. It goes to the sound of them while you're inside and hearing about them rather than seeing them, and your imagination finishing the picture.
So at least two of the main characters belong to Gen Z, to Generation Z. It has a certain appeal doing a film for such a younger generation.
It does. I think, you know, for me, the young people have always been the one that have embraced my storytelling. And now the 30th year, I feel, you know, well, Sixth Sense is 25 years, but I was making movies before that as well. But, you know, from Sixth Sense on, it was really the younger generation that kind of really embraces new storytelling. So now that first generation is the older generation. And now we have like almost a third generation here that I'm talking to. So I enjoy it a great deal. They're the ones that allow me to do cinema in a new way every single time. Their interest in new languages, both literal and metaphorical, is high. So I always feel I have a new audience because the younger audience wants something fresh.
One of them is probably your daughter as well. And she's a very big part of this movie. And also a very big part of this movie is this concert that you're staging, which is part of a movie and maybe a different movie in itself. I don't know what.
Yeah, I love, you know, when movies are, you know, evolve in format as you're watching them and you don't know what's going to happen. It's very rare. We generally can, you know, sense the structure of a movie. But in this case, it unfolded in this beautiful way. For me, I was trying to think of a movie where the majority of it takes place at a concert. And you see all the stages of a concert from before till after.
And talking about younger generations, because there's a key scene, no spoilers here, but there's a key scene where the power of social media is really profound. Do you feel that them socials have also changed the way we perceive cinema or film?
I do. I do. I think that you see an intensification of the conversation that's going on. I'm trying to find my way in it as a person that does original stories. How do I speak to a world that's getting all this information all the time, you know? It leans towards things they already know because it's easier for them to remember, but I'm really enjoying the kind of individuality that it's promoting and the opportunities that it's promoting. I think the moment you're referring to in the movie is, you know, for me, the benevolent side of it, how connected we all are and how we're, you know, we're not alone in many ways. Now, there's a dark side to it where you're very alone and you feel the more you know, the more you see, it's all fake and you feel alone. So there's an interesting balance of how to talk about it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nice, very nice to see you.
Pleasure.